For what's trending in true crime, it was a family affair in a Kentucky courtroom on Monday as three relatives appeared in court in connection to the death of 8-month-old baby Miya. Now, police started searching for Miya on June 6th following a welfare check request and search warrant. Now, they returned to Miya's home last Friday with cadaver dogs and found her concealed remains. Miya's mother, this woman, Tesla Tucker, sobbed as she waited for her turn to go before the judge. And at the hearing, a detective testified what they found in Miya's room.
The bag of meth was in a room with a bassinet, a child's bed, and it was literally laying in the floor in plain view next to the arcade.
Now, Tucker and Miya's father, Miya Rudd, along with Miya's grandfather, Ricky Smith, were all arraigned on charges of tampering with evidence, abuse of a corpse, and failure to report the death of a person. Now, authorities also arrested both of Miya's grandmothers and her other grandfather, but they are not charged in connection to Miya's disappearance. So the question we're wondering this morning, who is going to be charged with Miya's death? Let's bring in our power panel now. Still with me, former law enforcement officer and domestic violence expert Claudia King. We want to welcome in the Director of Prosecution Projects at Florida International University and former homicide prosecutor Melba Pearson. And want to welcome in former NYPD Lieutenant Mike Gould. Great to have you all here. Oh boy, who's getting hit with the charges? Or how many people going to be hit with charges here? Melba Pearson, would you start us off with your thoughts, please?
Yes, good morning. So, of course, this is incredibly tragic, and the question is, who actually killed this poor little child? Was it an accident? Was it the type of situation where the parents were partying, didn't pay attention, and the child passed away? So I think there's so many questions as to what actually happened to this child. And once we have those answers, then we can backtrack to start to figure out who were the last people to be around the child. Was it a situation where one parent went out and came home and found the child dead and they all covered it up? So there's just so many layers to this, and this poor child just needs justice.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Melba. This poor, sweet, beautiful, defenseless little baby Miya. A lot of people to talk to. Let's go to our law enforcement experts now. Mike Gould, your thoughts on who you might be wanting to talk to first for this?
Well, yeah, Julie, and you know something, for my 25 years in law enforcement, working the streets in New York City and out on Long Island, I have been desensitized to most gruesomest things that humans can see, car wrecks, 9/11, so forth. But when it comes to children and animals who are completely defenseless, it really hits home for me. So we got a rogues gallery of what looks like social miscreants, considered not guilty. Obviously, they have the presumption of innocence. And I think, like Melba said, we're going to talk to each one. They're going to start to flip on one another. And it's so early on in this case. There's so many layers of things that I think it's going to be a relatively simple thing when people start to turn and flip on each other, and we'll get to the facts of it. But it's a horrible thing when we see a little baby, defenseless baby like that. So, yeah, I'm in agreement. Too early on, too many layers. We got to get more facts.
Definitely, and I'm with you, and I know so many of our wonderful viewers are as well, Lieutenant, what you said about people who hurt kids and animals. I feel like there should be a whole separate punishment system for those people. I can't. I'm with you there. Last but certainly not least, Claudia King, want to get your expertise on this. Tell me who you like, who you want to talk to first on this one.
I definitely want to talk to the parents and anyone else that has been in that household. I do also, though, want to talk to Child and Family Services, because I understand that there was a plan to take this child away, and that didn't happen yet for some reason. And I'm a little concerned about that. You know, why was the child left in the circumstances where she was? It was clearly not a good place. She had drugs in her system when she was born. So I have real concerns about that as well. But I'm talking to the parents, and everybody in that house is going to hold some type of charges as far as I'm concerned.
I love it. And I love what you said, too, about Child and Family Services, Claudia. You're right. What did they know? You know, police said they knew there was a baby in that house. They knew that much when they were going in. They knew what they were looking for. That precious baby deserves justice, as you all know.